Hey YouTube, I want to go over some layout modifiers that we can use in our VisionOS scenes. So there are a lot of layout modifiers. I can't go over them all in this video, but there's size modifiers, position modifiers, alignment modifiers, padding and spacing, grid configuration, safe area and margins, layer order, layout direction, and other custom layout characteristics. I want you to think about this a bit like CSS and HTML, CSS, web design, and it's a way to alter the appearance of this window right here. So when you have some content here, you can change the way this appears to you. So I'm just going to go through these one by one. I added a foreground color of red here and window resizability content size just to make these layout modifiers look more clear. So I'll start with dot frame, and dot frame has a couple variations. It has the frame itself, but it has also a depth, and has dot frame with more detail and a dot frame with more depth detail. So let's try this one. This is width 50, height 50, alignment top leading. So as you can see, I'm going to change this to white actually, so you can see the text more clearly. As you can see, that created a small window of 50 by 50, and the alignment of top leading is within the alignment in the documentation. So you have several options: top leading, top trailing, leading, center, etc. And this right here in the documentation will give you where you want the text to start. So you can also put center. Let's make the window a bit bigger, and here you go, it's center. You could also put bottom trailing. Let's try bottom trailing. And here you have the text right here, the contents right here. I'm going to show you the next frame, which is depth. So initially it doesn't look like much has changed here. The text looks a little bigger than the window, but it's hard to tell what happened until you actually move the depth, and you can see that the content is slightly in front of the window. So that's how you make a window with some depth in it. And I put the depth at 500. If you put the depth at 100, it looks even less obvious what's going on. It's only slightly in front. You can create depth where the content is right in front of your face, like that. And also the depth has several alignment options here, and that is within depth alignment. So you've got back, center, front. So we can try what happens if you do front. Well, it's going to be even closer to you. I made the depth too big. Let's try 500. Okay, there you go. So there's another layout modifier here. It's a more detailed modifier. It has a min width, ideal width, max width, min height, ideal height, max height, and alignment. And that, I would say, is just something similar to this with more options in it. And you can think of these like CSS options. When you resize a window, you want a min width, a max width, and an ideal width. Let's try that. Okay, there you go. And it's the same thing with a more detailed dot frame for depth, which is right here. Specified depth constraints. So these are more specified depth constraints. Let's try a couple other options. Fixed size. At first it's not clear what this is doing, fixed size, but that's because fixed size is dependent on an ideal size. So if I deselect this and it has an ideal width and an ideal height, the fixed size will match to that ideal width and height. Okay, there you go. Add some padding here. Padding works very similar to CSS padding, just creates padding around the content. We'll try the position variable. Position, you pass in a CG point of an X and Y variable. I put the X as 0 and the Y as 0 to see where the initial position is. You can see the content is all the way in the top left, where it's 0, 0. What happens if we did 100, 100? Okay, the content is at 100 and 100. So the position is more clear if you actually add a border. So I've added a border of color .blue. So there you go. Something strange here is that position 0, 0 is actually right about here. so it's outside the window. So that's why when I put position 100, it still seemed to be on the far left. So yeah, just note that the position of the actual X and Y coordinates are slightly outside of the window space. So if you really want your content to be inside when you use position, you want to have a higher number there. Okay, there you go. I'll go over some more layout modifiers in future videos, but I just wanted to start with these layout modifiers. Thanks for watching.